Hello, people. Another episode of The World is Burning. Shout out to the 270 subscribers. Really impressed with that. I really appreciate it, guys. Keep the comments coming. I think we have a good little community going on here. Today, we're looking at bad car loans. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Take a seat. Enjoy. We are just documenting the economic situations everyone's going through, keeping an eye on some of these areas. And we're also going to be looking at the 2024 collapses. One of those big collapses, I think, is coming right around the corner is these bad car loans. You can see on Google that searches for give back car have reached new record highs. I mean, people that are underwater on these car payments now, so they're looking, how do I just get out of this and give it back? Because they are in negative equity. So these people, they were putting, no money down. They were probably financing the taxes and the insurance and whatnot. And then the car market's crashed. And now they're finding themselves in 5, 6, 7, all the way up to £10,000 in negative equity, which means it's a bad debt. And then you look at this. Auto loan debt held by Americans rose to a record 1.6 trillion with a T at the third quarter of 2023. So if even a fraction of these, and I think it's more than a fraction, I think it's a substantial amount, are underwater or in these bad debts because of the pandemic, and it just driving the price up, we're in trouble, guys. In the UK, it's not as bad, 40.7 billion. I mean, still not great, but it's at least a fraction of the American one. In the UK, the average payment right now is 300 to 400 a month. You know, back in the day, you'd be like, that's a really high payment. Now that's just the average, and you're almost lucky if you get something like that. In the US, look at that, 726 a month. So before you've paid rent, before you've eaten, before you've paid for your kids or been out, done anything, you have to pay 762 a month just in a car payment. And you might be underwater on this as well. So yeah, if you convert the £400 to dollars, we are still quite far under America, but that's going to creep up. That is going to creep up. And if you're following this, you'll know I've actually been looking for a car. My car broke down. It just died on me. I had it for 8 years. I like to buy a car in cash and then just have it until it dies. So I'm looking at something like this, an issue in cash car. You'd never look at this and go, this is an amazing car. This is just an outrageously nice car, because it's not. 14 grand, really low mileage. So something like this for me, I'm going to be able to drive this for 7 years, hopefully 8 years. But you come down, and here's the thing. Back in the day, you used to be able to haggle them down when you go in and you say, I'm coming in with cash I've saved up. Now they won't haggle you down because they want you to go on finance. So look at this. For a 5-year loan, 5 grand deposit, that's 209. You go, oh, that's not the end of the world, but it's 5 years you have to pay this back. But most people these days, they're putting nothing down. So that's 325 for 5 years. But that's 5 years. Let's say you want to go for a shorter term, like 36 months, something reasonable so you're not like a slave forever. Then that shoots up to 4, 7, 8. Even with like a nice deposit, let's put a 5k deposit down again. This isn't even a nice car, guys. 305 £305. So yeah, anyway you look at it, and let's face it, most people aren't getting this sort of car. They're getting a BMW, a Mercedes, something like that. So yeah, car market's crap. Let's have a look at some of these car repos and see what's going on.
See that right there? Car repos are on the rise due to record high monthly payments on cars. I told y'all this was going to happen. If you don't think that we're heading into a recession, that we're actually in a recession now, that's only going to get worse and end up being a depression, you're just fucking crazy. It was all good, just so good.
Yeah, and that's it, guys. I mean, you can't say this isn't going on. Like even that people are Googling at a record rate, how do I give my car back because I've made a big mistake? You can't deny this is going on now.
Just a few months ago, everybody was buying these G-Wagons, paying $70,000, $80,000 over sticker because they did not understand that they were.
Yeah, and that is what's led to this. People who were, when that crazy market, when the supply chain dried up because of the pandemic, and then prices were getting inflated, people were more than happy to just buy it, and it's biting them in the ass now.
Inflated prices with an inflated dollar. So they thought that they were winning. But now the dollar is not as strong as it was. The dollar's buying power is dropping. And now guess what? Motherfuckers are defaulting on them high-ass payments. The cars are...
Yeah, they're defaulting on the payments. They're getting repoed at a crazy rate. I'm going to change that because the music in the background.
husband stopped paying his truck and it's been repossessed. So they're gonna send you a notice once they sell the vehicle, and the deficiency, the difference between what you owed on the car and what they sold it for, that's gonna be the amount you're gonna owe. Okay, it's gonna say charged off, but that's the amount that for the next 7 years from the first time he made the 30-day late that sent it down the road to repossession, whether it was voluntary or involuntary, doesn't matter. From 7 years from that first late that sent it down the road is how long they can show up on credit. They could sell it to another collector and a new collector could show up. The minute you hit 30-day late, new collection shows up, you immediately get compared to the group of people out there that also recently had one 30-day late. And so then you guys start getting compared to, well, what do your credit cards say you owe? You were okay at 30% before, but now you're worse than everybody else in this group. So your score's low.
Yeah, it's going to affect everyone's credit scores. You can't be getting repoed like this. You know, Michelle Joy here, it just happened to me. We're going to start seeing this come up, guys.
Oh yeah, you are 100% right. Look at this headline from TransUnion that just came out today. Essentially what TransUnion found is that auto loan delinquencies of more than 90 days have doubled since 2018. We've already seen used car prices plummet. This is a Honda Pilot near me that's been on a dealer's lot for over 100 days. Back in May, they wanted it for $39,000. That was the advertised price. Look at it up there, $31,875. The issue is obviously interest rates are rising, so it's really challenging to still get a good monthly payment, but we are seeing more negotiability both on used cars and new cars. We're here to help.
After months unemployed during the pandemic, Hurley, who drives her kids to school each day, then travels for her new job in pharmacy operations, is $1,000 behind on car payments and on the list to have her car repossessed.
Have you had to choose between car payments and other bills?
Absolutely. I've had to choose to have my rent late.
All the while knowing she could wake up any...
Yeah, and then you get put in this weird position when you've got such a high car payment. It's like, if anything goes wrong and you're stretching your budget thin, you're going to have to choose between feeding the kids, paying the car payment, paying your student loan, paying your credit card, paying your rent. There's so many options, so you just got to pray that everything goes absolutely perfectly in your life. Wes, Big Wes in the comments, shout out Big Wes. I work at a dealership, and you would be amazed at some folks' monthly payments, and they agreed to. It's just insane, just insane.
To find her car gone. That nightmare a reality for a surging number of families nationwide. After tumbling at the start of the pandemic, the rate of American borrowers dubbed severely delinquent, or at least 60 days overdue on their car payments, is up nearly 18% from a year ago. That same rate for subprime borrowers up 40% in the last 2 years. Repo agencies say the impact is obvious.
The number of cars referred to you by the banks to get repossessed has tripled?
Correct. It's all about inflation. You know, the price of fuel, price of food.
Average monthly new vehicle payment hitting an all-time high of $730, many boosted by rising interest rates.
Absolutely disgusting, $730 a month. I'm not surprised they're getting repoed because people have just overextended themselves. Leave me a comment in the comments, guys. Have you ever been repoed before? Have you ever signed up to something that you really regret that's made a terrible financial move, something like that? I'd love to hear from you in the comments, guys.
In the world of auto finance, a worrying trend is taking centre stage. Car repossessions are on the rise, a convergence of high car prices, inflation and decreasing...
And honestly, guys, I think the business to be in is repossession. That should be the business people are getting into right now, because I only see this going up and up and up and up, and all these people have 1.6 trillion of car debt in America. So even if you get a small portion of that as a repo company pulling it back, it's probably good business.
Household savings is to blame. The pandemic initially reduced repossessions, but they are now rebounding to pre-pandemic levels.
Yep.
This is especially hard on lower income consumers, and default rates are higher than in 2019. Ownership costs like insurance, gas and repairs are also increasing.
Yep.
The average monthly payment for a new car has skyrocketed since 2019. This has led to a 30% reduction in repossession companies. The economic outlook for 2023 appears bleak. If the unemployment rate and shrinking savings continue, more people are likely to miss payments. However, there's a silver lining. Analysts project that while defaults and repossessions will rise, they'll remain at or below historical averages in the long.
No, don't believe that. Do not believe that. Leave me a comment. Do you think it'll stay as it won't go above the average historical repo rates? I think people are going to have everything taken away from them.
Used car prices continue to rise, and the repo man is back. Used car prices have soared in the last year and a half. Used car loans are exceeding $500 a month, and 1 out of 8 borrowers are on the hook for $1,000.
Yeah, I'm actually going to leave this one, guys, because this is 2022. I think this guy came out, so it's not relevant to now. But it just goes to show, in 2022, the prices were on the rise. The prices were on the rise. But we're not there right now. We are not there right now.
This is why the car market is crashing. Imagine you bought a car in 2021 for $50,000, but today it's only worth $30,000. And on top of that, you can no longer afford the $750 monthly payment. You can't sell it because you don't have the $20,000 due to being underwater. Yep. And you can't refi because of how significant interest rates have risen. What do you do? A lot of people are walking away. You're seeing a flood to the repo market, now an influx of used cars, and why the used car market is collapsing.
Yeah, and that's it, guys. Back in the day, you used to be able to just refinance it with someone else, and you might be able to get a better rate, and then the monthly would come down. It's not like that anymore. The interest rates are up. So once you're stuck in this, you're not getting a better deal.
The repossession is trending upward, going in.
Hey, guys.
The repossession is trending.
Dad, come quick. Someone's taking your car. What? Hey, what's going on here? I'm here to repo your car. Repo? Yeah, I'm here to take your car, sir. What? You can't do that. Well, it says here you missed a payment, so the bank wants it back. It was just one payment. I was gonna pay back next month. Sorry, depending on your state, your bank can repo your car for even just one missed payment, and they don't even have to give a notice. This can't be happening. Don't worry, you have the option to buy the car back from the bank. But for the future, make sure to set up automatic payments and don't take car payments so lightly. Oh, and also make sure to follow Forrest. You'll learn a lot more about.
Yeah, and here's the thing, guys. Don't just hide your head in the sand. If you know you're going to miss a payment, this comment here from the guy who made the video, actually. If you can't make a payment, call your lender and see if they can give you a grace period. They are more than happy to work with you. They know people are going through things right now. But if you hide your head in the sand and you're like, oh, I'm going to miss this payment, but don't worry about it. Like he's saying, they can repo after one missed payment in America. So it's not like you're doing them a favor by just not paying and hiding and trying to hide the car. Go tell them, I'm going to miss the payment. Can I set up a different payment date? Is there some way we can work around this? And they're more than happy to work with you most of the time.
Let me show you how I buy repos. I've actually had multiple dealers ask me how do I buy repos. In this video, I'm going to show you how. First and foremost, you need a dealer's license. And if you want to learn how to get your own dealer's license, go ahead and join my Discord. The link is in the bio. This app is called Odessa, and these are the locations that I frequent all the time. I'm in Northern Virginia right now, so we're going to go ahead and click Odessa, Washington, D.C. There's about 8 lanes, and they're all identified through letters. And basically, the only lane I'm personally worried about is lane B. As you can see, lane B is on consignment. Right there is lane B, and it has 106 cars. But as you can see here, all these cars are being sold by American Credit Acceptance. You could go ahead and pause the video if you want to see the details on the vehicles right here. But like, these are all repossession vehicles. American Credit Acceptance is the #1 repossession lender, throughout auction history. Let's be honest. They're honestly one of the worst subprime lenders available. So this is a typical repo you'll see at the auction. It's really not taken care of at all. This one has a front end accident. The car is probably dogged. If someone couldn't afford the car payment, they easily couldn't afford to, maintain the vehicle. Exactly, so yeah. A lot of people just say fuck it and let their cars get repoed.
Yeah, and a lot of people literally just say, I want this Audi, I'm going to get this really expensive Audi, and they don't think about how much it costs to maintain the Audi. So by the time it gets repoed, it's been wrecked because someone's just driven it like a madman and they've not really done any of the proper upkeep on it. But yeah, I've always actually been interested in buying repos or something like that, so I'll go into an auction, and I might end up doing that when I get my new car, so I'll keep you posted on that one, guys.
What'll happen is the auctioneer will keep lowering the number until he actually gets a bid. So he's down to 95 right now. So I might just start at $6,000. And that was low, so everybody's hitting it. It's already up to 7,000. 71, 72, 73. I'll just wait. It keeps going up. 84, 85, 86, 88, 9, 91, 92, 93. And he'll say last call right before he's about to drop it. So he put on, it's $9,300 and they put on a phone call. All right, this is a 2008 Wrangler, so 4-door, and it's got, how many miles? It's got 208,000 miles.
Yeah, it's already on $9,000 and it's got 208,000 miles and it's a 2008 car. So even in these auctions, prices get racked up really quickly. It's kind of wild how it happens.
Looks good though. Somebody dropped it down to $7,000. It's got money at $7,000. Looks like no one wants to bid on it.
Yeah.
Auctioneer at this point is just begging for bids. And it's rolling out. He's still trying to get bids on them. Gross. Seller wants $10,000 for it. They're asking if they can meet him in the middle somewhere, but they're $3,000 apart. This makes no sense to even do. It's just no sell it. Never mind. He just sold it. There must have been something greatly wrong with that Jeep. The seller just dumped it for $3,000 less than what he wanted. All right, here's a repo. Here's what repos look like. It's got 239,000 miles.
Yeah, and if you watch, there's a few guys on YouTube who have repo channels where they have a repo car and it shows you them repoing it. They do it so quickly and so fast because it's a crazy situation. They actually damage the cars a lot of times as well. Yeah, let's see where this ends up.
It's an 02 Civic. So the guy basically on the floor, he's like the hype man. So he's trying to get bids rolling. That's why you'll hear them yelling. That's why you'll hear them yelping. They're just trying to get action off the floor. What happened?
Yeah, it's rough out there, guys. Rough out there.
31, 32, 33, 34, 35. I'll just let you listen to Matt. Matt's this guy on the floor yelling for bids. All right, he's got 46. No, he's got 47 right now. All right, 4,700, and he sold it.
Yeah, it's a cheap way of buying cars. You'll never find a 4,700 car not sold like this, I don't think.
All right, this one's actually interesting. We'll watch it. It's a 2009 CRV. It's got 333,000 miles on it.
I wouldn't, anything, leave me a comment, anything over a, well, because I like to drive a car for like 7-8 years, so I'm trying to go as low mileage as possible. I wouldn't even buy a car with 300,000 miles. Leave me a comment, guys. Would you buy a car with 300,000 miles on it?
They're asking for $3,000. Nobody's been on it, obviously. He just got money at 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300. He's up to 1,500 now. 16, 17, 19. He's got 2,000, 21. All right, got 2,100 on that CRV and he sold it.
21.
I think Alex has been on this one. Yep, I can see his head nodding. I can barely see it in real life. We'll zoom in on this. He's been on this Ford Flex. Looks good. He's at 2,200, I think. Alex is up there debating with him right now, trying to see if we can get a better price. Sell it to us. How much? All right, this one's a 2017 Corolla. It's got 152,000 miles.
152,000 miles. How do Americans get the cars so high on the mileage? It always blows my mind. All right, we'll do one more, then we'll get out, guys. But this repo market, this car market does not look good.
This guy in Miami didn't want to let his car be repossessed. Repossessing a vehicle is a challenging task, as it's uncommon for someone to willingly give up their car. The man was engaged in another job for the bank when the entire incident caught the attention of the debtor. The man quickly jumped into the car and attempted to drive away. Eventually, he succeeded, but not without causing damage to the car's body parts. In doing so,
yeah, this is ridiculous, guys. If your car's getting repoed and it's already on the lift, don't drive away. Even if it's not on the lift already, but you're just damaging the car, he's still going to be liable for all these charges. It's just such a moronic way of going about anything.
he added an expensive repair to his bill.
Yeah.
Perhaps paying car installments would have been a more prudent choice than having to keep an eye on it 24 hours a day to prevent repossession.
And they will eventually repo it, that's the thing. This guy's just giving himself more headaches. You know what? We're going for another one, guys.
You can't join my table. Why ubuza londo? Ingakhiyo. You can't join my table ne-afro yakho, babe. Join amanika. Hlala namanika.
Yeah, and look at this one. The first comment here from the same woman. Learn to call your bank once you see that your financial status is changing. Don't hide your head in the sand, guys. If you are in a bad situation, you want to be open and up front, and maybe they can help you with it. So yeah, leave me a comment, guys. When do you think this market bubble is gonna explode? I think it's gonna be really soon. And let me know, have you got any bad auto car debt stories that you want to share? Leave them in the comments, guys. Love to hear from you, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.